Good evening, everyone. It's me, Alex, and Dispatch Training Center. Today is Sunday, and probably most of you are enjoying football and some time with family. But we keep going, learning about trucking industry and empowering brand new dispatchers. Many of you have been affected by Hurricane Helene, and as a dispatcher, as a driver, you need to understand some certain information, and also you probably all heard about FEMA loads. What is those loads? Are they really paying? Can anybody just book that load on a load board? So we are going to figure this out, and we will learn how to register as a carrier for the 2025 FEMA approved carriers. What does it take? But also, as a new dispatcher, you need to have some resources when natural disasters are coming. I'll be right back, and we're going to continue. So we just wanted to share also that our IFTA training is coming up next Sunday, and you guys can sign up. But we're gonna give you that update also in the end of the video. So let's actually go over this short information, and hopefully it's gonna help you in the future. Well, when the natural disasters come, we need to understand that there has to be a certain preparation. As for the drivers, and we are talking about right now small carriers, mega carriers, any driver who will be dealing with this. So let's look at this list, and let's kind of go really fast through some of the most important preparation tips that you can share with your driver, that you can share as a dispatcher, as a safety manager. So let's go really fast. First, you need to make sure that you do check weather reports. And I will share with you website and the links where I usually go and check what's going on with any updates. You need to make sure that your driver understands that his tractor fuel has to be topped off. And he needs to make sure that reefer is also full, because he will be dealing with a situation where a lot of gas stations are not going to be open, truck stops are not going to have fuel, because we are dealing with actually natural disasters. Well, we need to make sure that your drivers are actually careful if they are pulling double and triples. They need to make sure that they have extra food, water for themselves, and they have special gear, rain gear, extra clothing handy. And you need to make sure that they use local news resources, and you also help them as a dispatcher. You have to check for the current conditions for pickup and deliveries locations, because as the disasters are going, well, a lot of facilities are going to be closed. And as a resources, well, I could just name you a few, but we can look at the National Hurricane Center. We can also take Love's Travel hurricane information from their website. We can go to FEMA mobile app, and we can utilize all those resources. So let's just look at some of them. Well, here I'm sharing with you National Weather Services. As a dispatcher, this is something which you have to be aware of. We also need to make sure that you go to American Logistics Aid Network. You can also be a part of Red Cross, and you need to be familiar with FEMA, right? So let's go back to our PowerPoint and let's continue. So this is just a few resources, and I recommend for you to maybe bookmark. And I mean, we cannot predict any hurricanes which gonna come up this season, but usually we have few of them. And also we are dealing with the snowstorms, we are dealing with tornadoes, and anything which usually calls for help from these resources. So any natural disasters. So today we're gonna talk about FEMA loads, right? Emergency freight, and understanding them, and is that possible for you as a dispatcher just go on any route board and get those loads? Well, that would be easy, but first, before we're gonna go, let's understand what is actually different between FEMA loads and any other loads you are dealing with as a dispatcher. Well, first, if you are going to be dealing and preparing yourself to do the hauling of those loads, well, you need to understand that they are crucial, and you will be dealing with the natural disasters like hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, and actually you're going to be moving necessary and essential relief supplies to the area quickly. And because of that, you need to understand what are FEMA loads. And we have a different FEMA loads, and some of them include, for example, search and rescue for equipment, emergency food supply. This includes food, and we are bringing canned foods, dry mixes, other items to feed families which is dealing with emergencies. We're also going to be bringing a lot of drinking water and water purification system, medical equipment, supplies, construction materials, power generations, fuel, disaster cleanup supplies, clothing and personal care items, communication equipment. Well, since we are going to be bringing all of this, you as a driver and you as a dispatcher who gonna help driver with those loads, you will need to understand that there's going to be challenges. So let's go really fast over those challenges. Well, first you need to pay attention that it's going to be unpredictable schedules and the last minute changes, right? Because, well, disasters bring unpredictability. So you have to be flexible. You need to make sure that it's going to be last minute changes, and you need to cooperate with those schedules. Well, you're also going to be dealing with disaster stricken areas, and it might be potentially safety risks there, right? Because you're going to be entering the natural disaster area, and it can present unsafe roads, and it's going to be maybe damaged infrastructure, weather conditions. So you have to be prepared, and you have to be kind of confident, and you have to be able to work in those conditions and work under the stress, and you need to take care of yourself as much as possible. Also, it's going to involve long waiting times, loading, unloading, and it's important to be patient because we are working with relief coordinators, and sometimes, well, again, due to the natural disasters, due to everything is interrupted, it's not going to be easy. You're also going to be working with increased scrutiny due to government regulations, right? Hauling for FEMA means hauling for the government. So that means that you're going to be dealing with additional regulations and paperwork. You need to make sure that you work under the stress and you can manage your emotional toll due to disaster situation. Well, you're going to be witnessing families placed out of their homes. You will be witnesses sad circumstances. Maybe you're gonna be part of helping in emergency situation. So all of that takes you as a person coping with unpredictable situation. You're also going to be dealing with communication difficulties, right? Due to disrupted networks. Some of your GPSs are not going to be work. That's why it's going to be crucial to have a backup, to have extra apps to make sure that actually you have backup. So you're going to be dealing with unaccepted weather and conditions, and also other emergency situations. So look one more time at those resources. As I already mentioned to you before, we are talking about American Logistics Aid Network. We're talking about FEMA mobile app and also their official website. We are also talking about Federal Highway Administration and National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and also Red Cross. So, how can you prepare your carrier to work in those conditions? Let's pass through this checklist and we're gonna continue. Well, first you need to make sure that you maintain your vehicles, that you regularly inspect them and you do preventive maintenance. You need to invest in a good GPS system, and you need to make sure that you are helping your carriers and your drivers to have truck routing softwares. You need to make sure that they have emergency equipment, so they have survival equipment, and they need everything that they might need in this situation. You need to make sure that you inform them of weather condition and potential hazards. So that's why they have to be prepared for the extreme weather. You need to communicate with them, and dispatchers are going to be their friends in this situation. We're not going to be enemies, because we're going to help to go through this transition more smoothly. We need to make sure that we actually take care of ourselves also as well as others. We need to make sure that paperwork is available, all the permits are there, and that maybe you take a disaster response training before you're going to be dealing with those FEMA loads. Well, most of you are thinking, how can I become a FEMA approved driver, FEMA approved carrier? What does it take? And unfortunately for 2024, registration is closed, but this is maybe a time for you to prepare to register for 2025. Since you are going to be dealing with government, of course you have to be approved. That means that you need to submit certain paperwork. Well, you need to go to their website and go through all the steps. So let's see. If you're going to their website, right, and you want to apply, here is a link. So first, you need to meet certain requirements. First, insurance requirement is going to be $300,000 for the cargo. So if you are a carrier right now who only has $100,000 in cargo, unfortunately you will need to increase that to be approved. Look at the dates. So remember, if you want to start this in the future to help you carriers, or maybe you're a smaller company who wants to have extra loads during those natural disasters because they do pay better, and you need to start that onboarding process. So that's going to be open in February 2nd, 2025, and it's going to close in March 28th of 2025. So you need to fill out all the forms. And guys, if you're going to come here, you can see how is it going to go. First, you have to read all the guidelines. You need to make sure that you register on sam.gov. You need to prepare all the documentation that they're asking you for. You have to fill out TSP registration form, upload documents, and when you receive approval, well, you're going to be approved. So this is something which you can go and actually look over. This is available for everybody, and if you decide that you want to do it, you can start preparation. You have to make sure that you read the standard terms. You also need to make sure that you go through their uniform rules. And after you do all this, you have to follow certain steps. So you can just invest into maybe 30 minutes of reading on their official website and decide, is that something you want to do? So usually they say that it takes minimum 15 days for new applicants to be approved, and you can go and see what kind of preparation has to be in place. For me, the most important is, of course, the insurance. Everything else is easy to do. Do you have to hire somebody to help you to get this certification? No, and no. So after you finish all that, well, you can start hauling those loads. Where can you find them? Well, even on the load board, some brokers are going to be posting them, but usually, well, you're gonna find them on the official website. You're gonna find some brokers who are working with the FEMA loads. As long as you register, as long as you meet the requirements, well, you can become an approved carrier. So that's something I wanted to share with you. Also, I wanted to remind you that our IFTA starting next Sunday, and why is it important for carriers to understand IFTA requirements and regulations? Well, because this is something which you have to file quarterly, and it involves lots of audits from the government. As a dispatcher, as a brand new dispatcher, you can offer this as an extra service for your carrier, or if you would like to provide any safety and compliance services, this is a must. In the IFTA training, we are covering how to apply for IFTA, also all the trucking permits. And this right now involves Connecticut, New York, Kentucky, New Mexico, and Oregon. October class is very important because we are almost ending the year, and that's why we're going to be concentrating on how to renew IFTA for 2025, how to order the calls, what else do you need to do, and for anybody who is planning to open company, well, you have to have that knowledge as well. Another short announcement which we have, if you guys have been using our links to get the load board DAT, well, we also are partners with TruckStop. Actually, I did leave the link for you in the comments, so if you click, you can get your first month's free. Question is always gonna come, wow, is that gonna be for an independent dispatchers? Well, this is gonna be for the carriers. Also, we have link for the brokers. If you're a brand new broker and you want to get the first month of free for a truck stop, you can use that. And it's all only works for the pro subscription. So this is $159 value. As an independent dispatcher, will you be able to use the truck stop only on behalf of the carrier? So carrier has to get the load board, and it doesn't matter if it's a DAT or truck stop. DAT gives you an option to use their load board if you are verified. Well, what else is going on? Our October training is coming up soon. In the end of October, we're finishing our September training next week. But if you are planning to register, please make sure you use early bird 100 if you want to save $100. Also, for IFTA, make sure that you use IFTA 125. We understand that inflation have been very harsh. Trucking is going through very, very low market situation. That's why we decided to give extra to the community, and we included that discount $125 from your IFTA training. And for people who take that together, IFTA and safety, it's already included on the website. But if you only looking to take the safety class, please make sure you contact us, and we also can give you $100 off. We also happy that our memberships are growing, and we appreciate all the members on our channel. Remember that for $4 a month, you are supporting the free education, and we are changing lives together. I know it is Sunday and you guys are spending time with your family watching football. That's what I have to go and do as well with my family. Hopefully it's going to be helpful for you to search for FEMA registration to make sure that you have all the resources. One more time, I just want to go really quick. And for anything that going on, you can go to Federal Highway Administration. If anything's going on with weather, as a dispatcher, you need to make sure you go and look for the updates. Also, we have lots and lots of resources and news on American Logistics Aid Network, our Red Cross, and of course, remember that if you want to be part of any government loads, you have to register. Well, I'm happy to be with you today, wishing you a blessed Sunday, and we'll see you soon.